Hey, everybody. Another
Yes,
good
sir.
week. Welcome to Real Brothers Live. Real Brothers for the real world.
Yo,
And welcome to our digital neighborhood.
welcome.
I'm TL.
Welcome.
That's my man Stace.
What's up,
And
y'all?
and that's our brother Guy. And this is Real Brothers Live. All right.
All right.
I'm going to let y'all know what we got in store tonight. We got a few good topics.
All right, I got them.
But before we get it, we got a few good topics. Let me tell you what they are real quick. Black lives don't matter? Question mark. Before anybody get mad. Question mark.
Right.
What is making it? Quote
Right.
fingers making it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Air quotes.
Yeah. Black folks, what do we want? That's a legitimate question. That should be good. And this is going to be popular too. Sex on the first date or no?
No. All right. Yeah, we also want to let you know that before we go any further, that right now we seem to be having some technical difficulties. Hopefully we can have things shaped back up by next week. So we ask you to please bear with us.
Yeah, my man had an emergency, so he got a broadcast from the laundromat. So it's all good.
Right.
It looked like guys in one of his chambers. Hey, God, man, you're like a kung fu master.
I'm
Like
sure.
You got like an Egyptian tomb on this joint.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, anybody got any random topic they want to throw out there or anything?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't have any random this week.
You know I
what
do.
You got, Knight?
Hey, so your boy is a little sour, but I've been a little sour today. A little sour all day. You might be able to tell by my posts. You know what I mean?
The way you post now, that's the way you post now. I mean, that's go ahead.
Well, hey, it is what it is, man. Hey,
right.
Hey, I got a purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But all right, so our brother Teak, he sent me a news article with a video, and I hate to excuse my expression, but what the fuck is going on in the world today? Like, you know what I mean?
What was it, Knight? You gotta enlighten us. What was it?
So a lady got raped on a SEPTA train while people sat there and watched.
They have a
come
video
on, man.
It?
Huh? No, I mean he sent me a video, the news report. Not of the actual. Come on, Stace. Look at you getting all hype. Like, forward that thing to me. No.
Yo.
But what I'm saying, look, man, it's something wrong. It's something wrong with and this is not, I'm not talking about our black society or our white society. I'm talking about, or our whatever Hispanic society. I'm talking about society
as a whole, right?
Like, how can you sit there? How can you sit there and watch a woman get raped?
Now, Terry, let me respond to that. I tend to believe is God still smiling or is he frozen? I mean, is he just stuck on?
I'm not frozen. I'm here. I'm good. I'm here.
No, that's you again.
That's you frozen. That's that laundromat Wi-Fi you got.
Hey, turn that dryer off for a second.
All right. You know what? I think that right there is a natural runoff of what I've been complaining about, and this is what I mean by that. When we sit back and allow things to happen without saying anything, I think it's only a matter of time, but things just get worse. And everyone's position is, I'm not involved. I'm not going to get involved. And this is what happens. This is what happens.
Picture us on the sub and we see that.
No, I got it. I understand that.
I'm saying, how would tell me how that would play out?
No. If that were any regular dudes,
any of us,
it would have been a rumble. It would have been a rumble.
We'd have beat his ass. right?
But listen, like what you can't do though, you can't apply your morals in the way that that you would react and expect everyone to react the same
It's
way.
not my morals. It's just basic. Basic human decency.
But that's my point.
Because everybody has a mother, everybody has a sister. But Terry,
not
everybody has a sister. But everybody has a mother.
What I'm talking about is that you just because you would react a certain way, you can't expect everyone to react the same way that you would. And again, I repeat what I said. I think that this is as a result of this is the natural progression of the I'm not involved society. Everybody's letting things happen, and everybody refusing to get involved. This is what happens. It's the same thing. The story that I told last week when people drag racing up and down the block and no one's saying anything. This is what happens because no one gets involved, and then the people that are doing this nonsense think they got the green light because, you know what, this is a nice natural progression into our topic when we talk about Black lives / lives don't matter. This is the progression. This is what happens.
I think, listen, Stace, and not to call you out on it, but I think when you say, this is what I hear when you say nobody wants to get involved. What I'm hearing is nobody wants to call the cops. And listen, even if you would have called the cops in that instance,
that's different.
What's going to happen? Yeah. The woman is already raped. There's nothing that they could do.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, by the time the cops get there,
I hear a lot of times we do say stuff like, if I was on that train, I would do this, or niggas brother should have did that, or we can romanticize what we would have done and could have done and should have done. And if you ask me what I would do, I'm going to tell you I wouldn't sit by, right? Right. And I would definitely, you can't. If you're a man and you got daughters, a mom, a sister, there's no way that you can sit on that train unless you're just so overcome by fear. But I think what's different is at our age, fear is not something that overcomes us or overtakes us. We're at a point where we like, listen, fuck all that. Like, man, I've been around for a half a decade. I mean, half a century, and
I'm in my bonus years anyway.
It's gonna be my day. But man, you're not going to do this to this woman on this train. So, I mean, I don't know what I would do in regards to what would I do? What do I have on me? What can I use? What can I, how can I be an effective tool against this harm that's being caused to this woman? Right. So I would definitely go through what we can do. I don't even think we would have time to go through what we would just do. We would act.
I don't know. I'm not saying what I would do or how I would do it. What I'm saying is I would have did something. Even if me saying something draws that guy's attention to me instead of her. You get what I'm saying?
True, but listen though, my point is that when we sit back and don't do anything, and whether we talk about, not necessarily, calling the cops or something, but my point is that when I say that, we have to do something. And most likely, and if you're talking about nonsense going on the block where, people are, in the neighborhood doing things, or maybe you might be a little too intimidated, then the only response that you might have would be to call the cops. My point is still that we have to do something. You have to get involved. You can't just sit back and allow things to happen, because then it's only a matter of time before these types of things happen. This is what listen to this though, Guy. Mm-hmm. Even when we're talking about things happening on the block, it's only a matter of time before this whole not being involved. It's only a matter of time before people in the neighborhood sit in their windows, watch some person kick down someone's door and go in and just have their way with another person's house. It's going to happen because this not getting involved mentality is permeating our community and broader society so bad that this rape on a train and these types of actions is it's bound to happen. And like we said last week, that's why my point is that we have to do something. And to your point, Guy, if you don't want to call the cops, then involve yourself. But if you are overcome with fear and you don't know what else to do, then make the call. But you have to do something.
Here's all right. So here's how I feel about that, because I do have two daughters, right? And because I have two daughters, I've experienced a lot. I've experienced, and I was a single dad for a while, for years, right? My daughter was living in my home, you know, as a single parent. So I provided, you know, that primary support. And so I was there every day. I saw everything happen. And there was an incident at one point where there was something physical between my daughter and a young man. And my response or my action at that point, what kicked into me was, I'm a man. That's a man. That's a man. Right. That did something, right? I don't care who you are on this planet. For the most part, 90% of men are stronger than 90% of women. Right. You know, it's just the way our makeup is. It's in our DNA. It's physically we are, you know, the more superior, just human being, right? So my thought on that was, because I'm a man and she's a woman, I don't care what it is. I'm a better foe for you. I'm going to give you a better challenge. I'm the person that you need to touch. I'm the person you need to put your hands on. And that's the direction we're going to go with that. And it's the same way I would feel probably on a train with a woman and a man. Like, yo, man, you can attack that woman. I'm a man. You're going to have to attack me. Because whatever harm is going to come to her, I'm sure I can absorb it probably a little bit better than she can because I'm a man. And not to mention, I'm going to attack you like a man. I'm not going to scream and holler and yell and beg you to stop and all that. No, man, we're going to go until
that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, come on, like, is that too much to ask?
It's not. I can't call the cops when it comes to that. Like, if you're there and you see it and you're in the moment, you don't have a choice because that woman is. If it's men around, I can't. It's hard for me to even think that there were men on that train. Like, how men on the train and they can watch a woman be victimized like that? It's just.
States, that's the same thing. Like, remember week before last when I was at the gas station and they was harassing them boys, the cops. It ain't gonna be no George Floyd if I'm there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I walked up. I was like, yo, bro, y'all good? You know what I'm saying? Yo, y'all good? Cops started looking all dirty, but I'm saying, like, I just walking up. You know what I mean?
As they say, you know, the best disinfectant is sunlight. A lot of times it's just a matter of you saying something. But again, I think the biggest problem, and let's segue into our first topic. When we came up with that was the point in my mind when we talk about Black Lives Don't Matter.
Right.
The example that you
had
used,
a problem
Terry,
with that.
But listen to this though. Hear me out. The example that you use with the person being raped on the train is talking about the broader society. But when we bring it home, talking about things that are happening in our community that go unchecked, and even the statistic that God brought out last week, that some ridiculous percentage of crimes go unsolved in the community. Who's that on? Because
that's
like
that's on us.
That's on us. So again,
we need to police ourselves.
You know what though, Nike, but listen to this though. If we're not policing ourselves, to use your example, and we're not going to call the cops using my example, so therefore the only other thing to do is nothing. So if that's the case, then Black Lives don't matter. Because if Black Lives matter, we sitting here talking about what we would do if it were our daughter. So what if it's not our daughter and just some random person in the street and you see something happen and you do nothing? You're saying that life doesn't matter, so therefore I'm not going to get involved.
I don't remember who said that.
If we allow things to happen in our community and don't do anything, we don't involve ourselves and we don't make a call, that's us saying that life doesn't matter, so therefore I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to turn and act like I don't see it.
I think that's taking it a little far, Steve.
Yeah,
I think that's and the reason I say that is because listen, like we were saying, like different strokes for different folks. Everybody is not me, everybody's not you, everybody's not TL. Everybody's not going to take the position that we take, which is no, man, you're not going to do that today. Somebody might just be so overcome with fear that they can't. It might be somebody that was victimized as a young person and maybe that's traumatizing, maybe that's triggering them and they can't do something. Maybe people just become just paralyzed with fear, so that you can't, that is a thing. So in that regard, I can't really say that I can't agree with Black lives don't matter
Okay,
just because
but God,
somebody didn't do something.
But God, what about my example though? What about the example that I used when you now that one there that you use as far as rape on the train? Because for all we know, maybe it was one other person there and a woman, and she was frozen.
No, it was multiple people, and nobody said nothing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give God that. I'm gonna put that to the side because, like you said, you know, people could have just been frozen with fear. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about bringing it back to we talking about things that happen in our things that happen on the block. Right? Terry said it before. When something happens on the block, 90% of the time, someone knows what happened. I would say 50% of the time, most people know what happened. So again, the guy. With that being said, if 50% of the people on the block knows what happened, but people choose to not do anything, and again, I'm not saying go confront the person. I'm talking about maybe doing something behind the scenes, but you choose not to. Is that not saying that the thing that happened on the block, since it didn't affect my family directly, those other lives didn't matter, so therefore I'm not going to do anything?
No.
All right, so
all right, go ahead.
Here's what you got. If you just boil it down to the simplest part, you said it yourself. You said most times 90% of the people in the community know what happened. Right. Somebody in the community knows what happened. 50% of the time, and if these stats are correct, let's go with that, right? I don't know. But just throw it around, right? Just suppose 50% of the time, everybody in the community knew about what happened, right? So everybody in the community knows what happened. That includes the old heads, the OGs, the cats that people refer to as Unc or my G, or, you know, people that are revered in the community or looked at in a way where they have some type of authority in that community. Right. That includes you, Stace. So you knew what happened. You knew what was going on in your community. Why didn't you do something? Well, remember now, I'm the one that y'all got a kick out of it. On the cops. No. I'm just saying. Well, no, but God, now, listen. Let me just break it down. Let me explain what I believe an OG is, right? Because they are in our communities, and I look to both of y'all to be OGs, and we do, I guess, solve problems in different ways. Right? So your way might not be mine, TL's might not be yours, and mine might not match anybody's, right? So if you're looked at as an OG in your community or a community leader, somebody that's in your community, you're credible, people respect you, you know, and your word means something in that community. I think those are the opportunities for us to, at that point, step in, because somebody's going to come to you as an OG and be like, yo, OG, listen what happened. Now, what's your next move?
You got to meet people where they at.
Who you are as a person and what you think needs to happen in our community. I think that we have more of an impact, and we also gain more, I guess, credibility in our community if we can deal with those issues internally. I know we can't deal with all of them. We can't run around dealing with murders. We can't go around solving robberies and all that. But if we know and somebody tells us, because they're going to not just tell us in gossip, because none of us, in my mind, are gossips. We don't talk just to talk. We don't talk just to put dirt on somebody's name. We talk for a purpose, to build something, to engage in each other, to develop ideas. And if that's the case and somebody's coming to you, they're coming to you as that person. So you're tasked with responsibility at that point when you receive that information to do something. Now, if you think that calling the cops or getting them involved is the thing, which I don't. And the reason why I don't think so is because when we call the cops, we're actually weaponizing our words against these young people.
Right.
Because the cops ain't going to take care of us. They're not going to look at us right. As soon as they get on the scene, they're going to shoot first, and they ain't even going to ask no questions later. They're going to write something that fits their narrative. So I think that we have to use the power that we have in our communities to affect those instances that we can affect and be involved and engaged and develop those relationships and develop community and develop agency in our communities. And that's only going to happen if we get involved and stop calling the ops to come do something for us.
And that's to piggyback on what you were saying. That's exactly right. And to say Black lives don't matter just because people don't call the police is a little bit far.
See, no. Right? I don't want to get twisted. Okay. Listen though. Let me just say this one thing, and then I'm gonna let you finish. I'm saying Black lives don't matter when you do nothing. Remember though, I'm not saying I'm not saying that in every instance, because I agree with Guy. If it's something where you can go talk to an OG and that OG involves himself, that's different. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. What I'm talking about is when someone chooses to do nothing. That's saying that Black life doesn't matter, because I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to talk to the OG. I'm not going to talk to the cops. I'm going to act like that crime.
Right, but let me just get back to what I was saying. Like, all right, so let me take it back to the whole Black Lives Matter and the George Floyd thing, right? So I understand the protesting and the marching and everything like that. I get it. You know what I mean? People are upset. I get it. But where are the marches at now? Where are the protests at now?
For what?
Another thing. Why did people just stand there and watch that man get choked out or watch that man get smothered to death?
What man? What are you talking about?
George Floyd.
They didn't. Someone did something. She videotaped it. That's why we got to where we are.
That man is gone. Nobody did anything.
Listen, no, Terry.
Well, I think we got to put it in perspective. I do think we got to put it in perspective, right? It wasn't just him that was there. There were 4 cops there. Him, the other 2 cops that were kneeling on his back and on his legs, and then you had Tran, I think or whatever the other cop was, standing there with his hand.
So you just gonna sit there and watch somebody kill that man like that? That's what I'm saying. Like, how you just gonna sit and watch
this thing though? Because I think we're taking it in a place where I think we're diluting what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to go jump on the cop's neck. Doing something in this instance here, that lady, the young girl that videotaped her, didn't want to jump on the cop's neck because she didn't want to get shot. She videotaped and she told someone. She did something. My problem, when I say that Black lives don't matter, again, I'm saying when we choose not to do a thing, when we don't tell the OG, when we don't tell the cops, when we act like that crime didn't exist at all, that is my point.
Okay, but you ain't let me finish. All right, I'm gonna just address the cop thing with you, right? So a lot of with the don't snitch and all that, a lot of times when Black people don't trust the police. That's first of all, right? And how many times has a Black person called the cops, and then either the person that they called the cops on got killed, or arrested, or beaten up, or abused, or whatever? Or I've even seen situations where the person that called the cop they get pulled or they get pulled, thrown up against the wall and frisked. And like, goddamn, I'm the one that called. You know what I'm saying? So that's, I can see why Black people have a fear or trepidation about calling the police. I see that because they really don't give a shit about what happens to us.
Calling the cops as a Black person is the equivalent of a young Black man going to the trunk. As a person in the community that calls the cops in most instances against a young Black man, that's the equivalent of going to your trunk. That's saying I ain't got to go to my trunk, but when I make this phone call, you best believe in a couple minutes it's going to be somebody here hot with a hammer ready to work with you on that.
I disagree with that because I've seen numerous instances when just the sheer presence of making that call and having the same way. Let me finish the sentence. The sheer action of making the call and having that squad car ride through will make that incident stop. Perfect example. You see somebody about to break into a store and the cops pull up. What are the chances that person going to keep going into the store? None.
Come on. Let me ask you this. So what I'm a Black man. Are we all Black men? Now, what tell me if you can answer me this, riddle me this. When the police come to you, when they come knocking on your door, or when they're in your presence, and maybe you didn't make the phone call, do you feel the same prior to to that engagement with law enforcement as you do when you're in the presence of law enforcement? Or does something in you change? Do you feel some kind of way? Do you feel like you have to govern yourself a particular way? Do you feel any kind of anxiety? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when the police come around me, my anxiety level goes through the roof.
Yep.
And it's valid. And but see, you're different. See,
how am I different though, guy?
You're
I don't think I'm different.
Not different. I'm saying I'm not taking away from your experiences as a person, as a black man. What I'm saying is, it's apparent that your engagements with law enforcement were not the same as mine.
Have you ever had? Wait. Have you ever had a bad experience?
No way.
Have you ever had a bad experience with?
Yes, I have had a bad experience with the cop. Think about it. Think about what we're saying.
What was that?
Okay, you've had one bad experience with the cops. Every experience I've had with the cops has been bad except for one. What I'm saying is,
what was that bad experience?
And you saying even with that bad experience, knowing that how police officers deal with us or how they attempt to serve us, quote unquote, you mean to tell me, even with the way they handled you in those bad situations, you don't feel any anxiety? You don't feel like they could shoot you at any moment? You don't feel like you feel okay? You feel fine with the police in your presence?
Okay.
I don't.
What was your bad experience?
Well, I mean, I had a couple. I've been pulled over when there was nothing that was truly wrong. But
run it back though. Run it back. Hit that on that nail on the head that we're talking about. Like,
what you mean?
We were okay. I was saying my question to you was, when law enforcement, police are in your presence, does your mental state change? Does your emotional state change? Do you experience the same anxiety that I feel? See, because if you do, then you understand what you're doing when you call law enforcement on another black man.
I do. Now let me answer that, guy, and I'm gonna answer yours too, Terry. To your answer, guy, yes, my anxiety level does raise and does.
He's serious now. That nigga call me Terry. He's serious. All right.
But you know. So, but I want to answer the two questions. My anxiety level does rise because I know that I've been involved in an instance where it shouldn't have went left, but it went left. So therefore, I do know that it can happen. One. So that's to answer your question, Terry. But now, Guy, now to answer your question, Terry, like I just said, in that instance, there's something happened when the officers did something they weren't supposed to do, and things went the wrong way. But listen to this though, my conviction for doing something for my community when I see something wrong happen overrides that. So when they come to me and they say, "Yo, what happened?" I'm telling them what happened, because normally some innocent person got caught up in something, and I want them to know that's the person that did it. That's their car over there, and this is what happened.
Stacey, you doing all that, bro? Like, you pointing everything. You like it was him. He did it. Oh shit!
All right, yo. All right, hold on.
Go
ahead.
Charmaine.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey,
I'm
Charmaine.
good. How y'all doing
Would
tonight?
you like to chime in?
Before you let Charmaine share, I just want to give her a disclaimer. Charmaine, you on Real Brothers Live, and Stace will call the cops on your ass if you get out of line. Just so you know where we at with it.
Hey, Charmaine.
And Charmaine, I believe this is
locked up.
I believe this is your post, right?
Yo, that is it. Stacey,
Hey,
Charmaine,
call the cops on me. Man,
Charmaine, you say because I don't know where you are, so you're good.
Oh, the only reason why is because he don't know where you at, sis. Don't get it twisted. He just don't know.
He'll put that 911 on you. Hey,
what's your feedback, Charmaine? What's your feedback?
Well, this is your post that's on the screen, right?
Right.
All right.
So, but my point is this: like, I've been saying this for a minute. Like, when I grew up, the OGs in the neighborhood was just that, the OGs. Like, there was no playing around in the neighborhood. Like, there was no, like, you did something, somebody was coming for you to talk to you about whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, things was getting squashed and deaded real quick. Like, there was no playing around and extended lifetime beefs. So today, I'm just like, why are we not operating in that same methodology? And I've heard people say, like, some of the old heads say, like, well, like me, because I'm an old head. I'm one of the OGs. Right. So they're like, well, people, they moving funny. Folk is just out here moving funny.
And I understand,
I understand
that
like,
times is different.
Right. And that's like, okay, at first I'm like, At first, I was just like, really, like, okay, well, people didn't have remorse back in the day either. You know what I mean? There was some hard-headed folk out there. People
It's
that
different
moved a
though.
little funny too.
It's
different.
different. It's different.
But it
Can
is.
And I
I
understand.
get
I
it.
understand that people are a little apprehensive, like the old heads in the neighborhoods now, a little apprehensive because these young boys, they don't have no
No remorse
they
in their
don't
records.
have no, what's the word?
Remorse.
They'll kill you quick.
They
Right.
ain't
They
got
don't have
respect.
no remorse.
They don't
Right,
have
they
no
don't
chill
have
button.
no
Almost as if they're
respect, no
living
remorse,
They
soul.
got
none of
no
that.
chill button.
And by the way, all you killers out there, yo, man, we need y'all too. We need y'all to protect the neighborhood instead of wreck the neighborhood.
Exactly.
So look,
But-
man, if y'all can be down with me, I'm not scared of you. Y'all can come and hang, man. We can hang out. Y'all can come and chill with me for real. Like,
All right, but listen.
Can I
So
address Charmaine a little bit?
go ahead, guys.
So, Charmaine, what I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you totally that there has been a change in the way OGs interact in our community. But I think we have to take into consideration what's happened historically with the generation of men that I'm in. When I was growing up, that's when the crack epidemic hit. That's when there was the prisoner pipeline. I mean, that's when the school to prison pipeline was it hit hard. That's when the war on drugs was popping all crazy. They were snatching black men off the streets left and right, and so they decimated our communities when it came to black men. They took us out of our communities and incarcerated us. So now you got a younger generation that came in, right? And they started to move a different way. And then you got these fellas coming home, and they can't just come home and take over. You go assimilate into what's there. And what's there is you got a bunch of young dudes running around not acting properly because they weren't guided properly by the folks that were supposed to guide them, because those people were removed from our community. So I think we need to add that wrinkle into it, because we have to understand that there are OGs, and there would have been thousands, maybe millions more across the country had they not been taken off the streets, had they not been incarcerated, had they not been victims of this war on drugs and this war on crime. So I just think we need to consider that when we do our analysis on, where the OGs at.
and God, what would we call that? Modern day slavery?
No,
Yes,
I don't know what
indeed.
that means. No, but okay, but God, and Charmaine, let me ask you the question then. So with all that being said, like you said, the question was, why aren't we moving in why aren't we moving the same way that we used to now? So since people are moving differently, to use your term, is the answer though to not do anything, or do you now have to figure out a different way to move, a different way to respond?
I think we gotta
respond.
That was a question for Charmaine.
First of all,
okay,
you
go
gotta
ahead. I'm sorry.
respond.
Go
That
ahead,
was a question for Charmaine.
Oh, all right.
So for me, I'm just saying this, like I when I respond to folk, I talk to people out of love. When I see things not right, I talk to people in love. Like, I don't come for their neck, even though at times I be wanting to, but it's how we talk to one another, how we approach one another. It's our body language, it's how we look, how people receive us. And again, not every time somebody that I give something to somebody, do they take it the way I'm giving it. And I can respect that, but I've said it. So I feel like for me, I feel like I've done what I was supposed to do. I didn't sit by and let that thing go.
True.
I stood up. I said what I had to say.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they took it the way they take it, or they, you know what I mean? They make a change. But in my mind, I'm saying to myself, the same way my parents gave me some knowledge, it didn't take for me to use it that day. I used it when it was appropriate. So it's my mindset that if I give the knowledge, if I give that wisdom, if I come in and make that intervention, then maybe I halt whatever's happening right then and there. But then maybe the next time, they'll take what I said and use what I said. But it's like not being fearful to just say something, but being mindful.
Right.
Not what you say is how you say it.
Right. Absolutely.
People have to be mindful, like, you know what I mean? And I'm into this, this is my neighborhood. I'm not with all of that. Like, don't come over here thinking you're gonna start this disruptive stuff. We got elders, we got families, we got people trying to live their life. Like, live your life. I want you to live your life.
It sounds like what Charmaine is
Charmaine,
saying.
thanks for your input. We appreciate you.
And now, Charmaine, we got a next topic coming up. So if you feel like you want to make a comment, hop back on. It might be interesting. All right, thanks. All right. So it sounds like what Charmaine is saying. We all agree. Charmaine chooses to do something. She chooses to do something, and I'm for that. All right. So we need to move on. We need to move on.
Yep.
All right. What are the
All right,
next
so
two
what y'all
topics?
guys want to tackle next? We got
Sex on the
go ahead.
first date or no? we got what's the other two, Nike? I'll have my
what
notes.
is making it? And black folks, what do we want?
Okay.
I know what you want to get to, so go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
no, that was a throw from last week. All right, so where y'all want to go? Where y'all want to go with it?
You know where you want to
Where y'all want to go? Huh?
Well, Terry started us off. Why don't you take us where we going now, Stace?
All right, so what you want to say? Black folks, what do we want? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
What, black
All
folks,
right.
what do we want?
What do we want? Right. I think that came about from just seeing posts on social media. You know, a lot of people talking about what we need to do and what it takes to make the community work. And I guess, you know, it's a legitimate question. Like, if you boil everything down, what is it that we want? You know, is it something specific that we want? Is a whole host of things that we want? But, you know, we want feedback from that. What is it that black folk want?
Well, what made me come up with it with that topic is that someone asked me on one of my posts. They were like, "Well, what exactly are the what exactly are the steps to getting what we want, and how do you define exactly what we want, and how will we know when we have what we want?"
Right. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that, Nike?
Well, my thoughts is, one, we have to, there's a lot of things that we want and there's a lot of things that we need, right?
Mm.
But we're not going to get any of those things if we don't come together, right?
Okay.
Because like I always say, with the marching, the protesting, you know, looting and all that, you know, those people sit up in their windows looking down at people doing that. They already know what the problems are. They already know, you know, what the black issues are. It's not like anybody's telling anybody anything new when they protest, when they march. And nothing ever changes. We've been doing that since the 50s, right?
So what are you saying we want?
I'm saying we want, or what we need, is our own black nation. That's what we need.
Hey. Wow.
We need we need to unify. We need to have unity. Everybody.
Wait a minute. I just want to make sure I'm understanding you. Let me ask you though. Wait a minute. I got a question because I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So when you say our own black nation, are you mean devoid of anyone else, like only black folk, or just coming together?
Let me finish. I'm gonna finish. And this is not a racist statement. I'm just saying for us as black people. Because we need our own nation, right? We need nothing short of our own nation.
But what does that mean?
And this is what, okay, but let me tell you why that is what we need.
What?
Because black people have been scattered all over the earth, right? Not by our own choosing, but we were scattered by imperialism, colonialism, and all that. So we didn't have a choice but to be where we are. We're all scattered everywhere.
Okay. I think we very.
So we were kidnapped, right?
No,
so
we
were kidnapped, right? Weren't we? Or no?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
We were kidnapped, and there's no expiration date on human trafficking, is it? Is there a what do they call that?
Continue on. We're listening. We're listening.
So a form of reparations would be to let us have our own nation.
So are you saying?
Wait, and our nation should let me finish. Our own nation should be without borders, right? Because it wasn't of our choosing that we're scattered all over.
What does that mean? What does that mean? A nation without borders? I don't understand what you're saying.
A united if you have melatonin in your skin, that means you're from Africa, right? So if you're an African American, if you live in Africa, if you live in Europe, if you're black, you deserve to have your own nation.
God, you understand what he's saying? Did God fall off?
Can't hear you, guy.
I saw a post of yours earlier today where you mentioned something similar to this or along these lines.
I'm just talking about unity. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you want unity.
Unity.
Amongst black, because the question is, what do you want?
Global unity, right?
The question is, what do we want, or what do black folks, and so your answer is global unity.
Unity. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. I got that. Okay.
What did I not?
No.
What did you thought I meant?
The scenic route. That's all. You just took the scenic route. You took the long way around.
Yo, yeah, you were talking about a nation without borders, and
nation without. I'm still talking about a nation without borders. If you have melatonin in your skin,
melanin.
No. If you have melanin, I mean not melatonin. Damn.
Right. If we all just running around melatonin, we be all taking naps and shit all day.
All sleep out this joint. All right, never mind. Hey, but if we have melanin in your skin, that means you are rooted from Mother Africa. Is that true or no?
Agree, but Nike. Okay, so I don't think that any one of us would disagree that we need unity. I mean, so when we talk about, go back to the topic, what are we fighting for? Are you saying that we're fighting for unity?
No, look.
I mean, no. I'm sorry. What do we want?
The first thing.
What do we want?
We want reparations. We want payback without being violent, right? We want reparations.
Some form of reparations.
We literally built this country, right? And we get treated like shit. And black people ain't having that no more.
Right.
It's not.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? We're not having that no more.
So
what we need. What?
Your response is that bringing it back to the topic. What is it that black folk want? You saying we want unity. Now the odd thing about
no. That's not what I'm saying. I said we want our own nation. We want to be treated. We don't want to be treated like shit anymore, right?
But wait a minute. Hold. Okay. Okay. But go ahead, guys. Did you say something?
We want equity, equality.
Wait. Okay. Let somebody chime in. Nike, God, did you say something?
What I want for black people, because I can't say what black people want, but I do think it's the same. What I want for black people is peace. I want justice. I want equality, and I want equity. And let me break those things down. When I say peace, I want our country to stop cannibalizing us, because America eats its babies, and they've been chewing us up for a long time. You know, in America, with this relationship that it has with racism, you know, it's a peculiar marriage, if you ask me, and black folks are the offspring of that marriage. And so what we need is peace. So America needs to come to terms with its racist history in order to reach peace, because you can't until you can, you know, acknowledge the harm that you did, right, to folks, and then attempt to right that wrong. So we want justice. We want what has been kept from us for so long. We want what's been told to us over the past 400 years. We aren't ready for equality. We aren't ready for freedom. We aren't ready for to be looked at as full-class citizens. We aren't ready to be integrated fully into society. We aren't ready for the financial responsibility of just supporting our own communities. So we want justice, right? We want justice in our criminal system, because the criminal system is unjust. So we want justice there. We want those numbers, those disparate numbers, to come down, because that's a form of slavery. And that's a large part of the oppression that we feel as black folks here in America, right?
And let me tell you how you achieve that.
We want the peace, we want justice, we want equality. we want to be able to, if we go outside and we come and we encounter, say, law enforcement, my anxiety level should not rise, not even a little bit. We need that equality, and white folks enjoy that every day.
Right.
We need
Every
to
day.
enjoy that same
And
equality.
let me just
We need to
chime
enjoy
in.
that.
Let me say
enjoy
something.
Opportunities. We need to enjoy it. And the last thing that I say, okay, so peace, right? Justice, equality, and equity. Equity just addresses the reparations that TL mentioned.
Correct.
Equity brings us up to the place where we should be based on our contributions in America. So boom, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, now, and you know what though, Guy? And actually, mine is basically all encompassing. I'll say that I think that we want, while we're here, we want the same words that are applied or written in the Constitution. We want that to be applied to us. I don't think we want anything different from anyone else. And I think, God, what you said, and even in some aspects of what Terry said, other than the scenic route, that's what we want. We just want fairness. We want fairness. We want
equal citizenship.
When I talk about look, when you talk about the scenic route, let me tell you there's only one way that we're going to be able to get what we want to get.
Yo, the Constitution says we the people, but we are saying we the people. And
right.
Equal.
Right.
We are the people. Our
right.
Constitution
we have
says
to
we
wait.
The people. It's discussing us. And I think what we want is to be acknowledged as the people, because we are the people. So
we are
the
people. Part of the people.
Listen. So we have to unite, not just here. There's a reason why they separated us from and scattered us all over. Can you imagine if they didn't? Can you imagine how civilization would look if black people never got dispersed all over?
Yeah.
What we have to do is come together,
right?
Without borders.
Listen,
let me finish. You're not letting me finish. Come together without borders. Then once we come together and have unity, then that breeds what? Unity breeds strength, right?
Okay.
Once we're all together as one, then we're a strong black people, right?
Okay. Now, let me say this.
Let me finish.
Let
me just get to the end of my point.
Yeah, but you gotta. Okay.
Let me get to the end of my point.
Okay.
So once you have unity and strength, then you have power. Once you have power, then you can put people in office that have your best interests at heart. Then you can start making demands on what change you want in law enforcement or certain laws or whatever. Then you could start having the same business treatment as opportunity as everybody else.
And
that's the only way we're going to achieve
the last part of what you said seems to be the last part of what you said seems to kind of go along with what we said. I mean, we want equal to encompass all of that. It sounds like we're talking about equal citizenship. Now, the person that we look like we just took the thing down said that something I think you kind of went through was a sovereign nation. Right now, I don't know when someone says a sovereign nation, I don't know, and it kind of goes along with the question I was asking you earlier tonight. I don't know if black folk are here saying we want our own land.
Why not?
Without anyone else.
What?
No,
I'm talking about why can't you have dual citizenship? We could be United States citizens and we could be.
But do you think that that's what the fight is about, though, Knight? No, Knight. This is a question. But do you think that when we're out, when people are out there protesting and talking about what we want from this country, or you think they're out there fighting for dual citizenship?
You know what? They don't know what they want because they're following people
that don't have.
Wait. Let me just tell you. They're following people.
The question is, what do we want? And I didn't hear God say anything about dual citizenship. I don't know, right?
I'm just saying.
Let me say something. Wait a minute. Let me say something. I also think that we struggling enough trying to keep things together here. We just had the first topic talking about people not being involved and getting involved with their own community. So I think that what do they say? Charity starts at home. First, we need to work on getting ourselves together, because as long as
who you think I'm talking about?
No, but I'm saying, I mean, I think the people that reside here in the United States, we can't even, we struggle coming together as a unit here, putting people in office that we want to, moving in one direction, speaking
but
with
this
one.
Is not a United States problem.
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People they don't know what they want because they're following people who don't know what is, like, they're following people who have the same ideas. They want to march and protest, right? Okay, they have one issue here that they want to march and protest about when you got all this other shit going on. That's not how you make change. That's not how you make change.
But I think before you can make change in the greater society, I think you gotta make change at home first. Then you make change, or I think before you can even consider what's happening on the block, you got to make sure that your house is secure. If your house is in turmoil, how are you going to go out there talking about community or getting involved with things that are happening outside the house when those things are happening in the house? You got to be secure. That's one of the rules of one of the laws.
But if the message is,
let me finish. That's one of the laws of self-preservation. You need to be secure first before you start talking about secure other people. That's why on a plane, when they say if there's the decompression in the plane, you put your mask on, then you help the other people put their mask on.
Listen, I wanted to just go back to what you were saying, TL, about the protesters and all, because I am a protester and I'm at as many protests as I can go to. And I know whenever I go to a protest, I know what I'm protesting for. I'm not following somebody. I'm not a sheep. I know exactly what I'm in the game for. And listen, I love a good protest, bro. And not necessarily the violence that's associated with it. We call it violence, but I don't even know if I would call it violence. But I would say that, I'm with the shit when it's time to get out in the street and get busy. And I do have an agenda when I go to protest. I do understand why I'm there. And the majority of those people who go out and protest know why they're there. And they know exactly what they're there for. And the people who may be leading a march, I want to say organizing a march, they organize it with those other people in mind, right? So that being the case, they know what they're doing and what they're getting involved in. People not going out risking being arrested and prosecuted and charged with crimes and prosecuted just because we following behind somebody that's saying, listen, come on, young boys, we're gonna go march because they put up a new stop sign.
No, that's not. You're taking what I'm saying out of context, guy. What I'm saying is I thought
I heard you say that those people don't know what they're marching for, and I thought I heard you say that the people who are leading those marches don't know how to organize. I think that's what I heard you say. You recorded the whole podcast.
Right. I'll take that statement back. What I'm trying to say is what we have been doing with the marching and protesting, we've been doing it since the 50s.
Right.
Has anything changed?
Yes.
I'm not looking for change, though. I'm looking to turn the whole system over.
Well, wait. Has any of that marching and protesting for 50-something years? Has it gave us what we has it brought us to our end?
Can I answer that?
You keep cutting me off.
Let me answer your question. You asked the question. You said, has there been change? The answer is yes. Have we arrived yet? No. But has there been change? Yes.
You don't think so, Terry?
You can't keep spoon feeding me. All these leaders are doing now are pacifying people.
But Knight,
there's no change.
There's no change.
What change has it been?
Knight, when we were marching in the 60s, we were marching for the right to vote.
Are the police still beating people's asses?
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question.
What?
In the 60s, when we were marching, we were marching for the right to vote. Can we vote?
Yes.
Is that change?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, we need to move on.
Is that the change? Is that black change? Is that change for black people? Has that
Yes.
changed anything? Has that changed anything for the equality and equity of black people in
No,
this
let
country?
me answer your question. Let me answer the question. Are you saying that black folks' situation hasn't changed since the 50s?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
See, I disagree with that. God, what do you think?
I think there's been some changes. I don't agree with the pace of the changes, and I don't really buy into the whole thing of progress. But there have been changes made.
That's what I'm saying.
There have been amendments to the Constitution. The Voting Rights Act for women. There have been some marked changes. My push and my push is for total equal citizenship.
Now,
Absolutely.
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
good with
about.
that. I'm
That's
good
what
with
I'm
that.
talking about.
All right. Okay. So, let's move on.
We're never going to get
No,
that.
let's move on. Let's move on.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we beat the hell out of that, John.
We
That
did.
John laid on the ground dead and it's concussed. The John is bleeding from the mouth. We beat that John to death. We did good with that.
This is good. This is a healthy exchange of ideas. All right. So where we going next? We got sex on the first day or no.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You heard that?
Yeah, sex on the first date or no.
All right. Well, the hope was that someone would have chimed in. Especially someone I think it would have helped to get someone who would have looked at it from a different perspective. Because personally, I think that two adults go out, have a good time, and they know what they want, and they come together and say, you know what? I enjoyed myself. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna break you off. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I no longer think it's taboo. And I just think that if again, two consenting adults, I don't think there's anything wrong with two people saying, I enjoy this. This is what I want. Let's make it happen. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
What you say, TL?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, these days it ain't like it used to be, Stace. It ain't.
Right.
It ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't. You talking like them old fashioned, like you gonna date, bring some flowers and some candy, get a kiss, and then see a couple weeks later and all that.
No,
that ain't how that thing jumping off now. that ain't how that thing jumping off.
Now, go ahead. All right, guy. What is your response?
I'm all for it. If that's what the two consenting adults want, I'm all for it. Who am I to object to? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with it. I think if you can have responsible sex, right? You protect yourself, you protect your partner, and that's if you choose to do that. Because everybody ain't really protecting each other. Whatever. That's your choice too. Whichever way you choose to go with that. But I think sex on the first date is like now. It's like I think now we got past.
That's like ordering hors d'oeuvres, ain't it?
I'm thinking now we should, instead of talking about sex on the first date, folks should be talking about is we into BDSM? Is we going to do cosplay tonight, or what direction we going with sex? It ain't necessarily if the sex is going to jump off, but what kind of sex we going to have? Like you into choking and shit, or what you into? Like you got a foot fetish, or you want the blindfold or the handcuff? What we doing tonight?
Right.
All right. So who said something? Somebody made a statement. What does that say?
That was.
Well, in 30 years together. What'd she say?
I think that was Charmaine.
Charmaine said, well, I'm 30 years. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
She said, well, I'm 30 years together, 20 years married. I ain't saying it was the first date, but a date or so. And then Sandy hit us with, see, isn't merely physical, it's a spiritual matter also.
Right.
And then Charmaine gonna come back and tell us we crazy. Oh, now we crazy? All right, Charmaine. A minute ago you was riding with us, and now, okay. Now we all need some time on the couch. All right. I'm good with that.
I mean, but let me ask you this.
The variety of sex that you're going to practice on the first date rather than, if you're going to have sex on the first date. The first dates now is Netflix and chill. I didn't really realize when Netflix, I know that's been a thing for a while. And when it popped off, I didn't notice what it was until, you know, I was somewhere and somebody popped on Netflix and I'm looking through the movies and they like, listen, that's just for the background. I was like, oh shit, you right. Netflix is
Hey,
good.
God, you didn't know. You standing and trying to hold us to the remote.
This was some time. It took time to catch up to me. Like I might seem like the cool old head and all that. I'm still 49 years old, but this was a few years ago. But this was a phenomenon that came through with the, you know, folks in their 20s and all
Right.
that. And so when it
That's
hit
right.
me like, yo, Netflix and chill, I'm like, yeah, I got Netflix. For sure. I ain't know no better.
Come on,
Yeah,
Jose.
they got
I
all
tell you this, I
kinds.
learned
You know what I
fucking
mean?
quick.
From what I hear,
Yo.
you know, I mean, I ain't into that no more. But you know, I hear they got all kind of apps and everything now. Like,
All right. So I
You
got a
could
question for both of
Ashley
y'all.
Madison. But
Who?
if you married,
Who's she?
don't go on Ashley Madison, Terry. That's not for you.
who's that?
Ashley Madison, I'm not going to tell you.
That's your personal hooker or something?
Is that a person?
No, it's not a person, bro. I don't even, you know, forget I said that. Let me rewind that John back. Let me have that back. I want to take that. No, Ashley Madison is an app. It's an app for folks who want to have discreet sex. They might be married, they might be hooked up, they might be into some shit that everybody else ain't into. And you go on the app and you know you push your little buttons and you do what you're gonna do.
Wow.
Right.
Well, you know what though? Listen. So I got a question for both of
Hey,
y'all.
put that pen down, man. You don't I see you writing that John down.
All right. Now, look, I'm gonna have to get on the Google machine.
I saw you.
He wrote the
So I got
John
a
down.
question.
Yeah,
I got
he
a
wrote
question
that
for both of
John
y'all. I got a question for both of y'all. So when that happens, and I kind of goes along to what you said, Guy. If you're out, you know, and I guess like you just kind of have to, imagine. Is that in the long term? Is that a turnoff though? If you're on your first date and the female coming at you saying, "Look, this is what I want." Do you think that would have an effect on the way you view that person long term?
No.
Mike, because you like, man, she smashed me. Who else she smashing on the regular like that? You know what I mean?
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Now, Guy, you said no.
Because I'm an adult. We're adults. Like that belonged to her. She can do whatever the hell she want to do with it. And if she
that's true.
If she chooses
That's
to say,
true.
you know what, tonight, guys, it's your lucky night. All right, let's get busy. If she say no, I'm cool with that too. You know what I'm saying? But I think, a lot of times when we date, period, like unless you dating with an intention, like you want to get married, you pursuing something, and that's what your intention is for dating. Me, I'm a bachelor. I intend to remain a bachelor. I intend to continue to date. And I tell the people that I date, listen, I'm not interested in a relationship. If that's what you're into, you can go ahead. I don't want to waste your time. I ain't going to be playing all in your face. And ain't no need for you to be playing in mine thinking you're going to rope me into something that I'm not into. So living that kind of life that I live, yeah, I'm a bachelor and I'm single and I date. And my intention is not the same intention as other folks' intention all the time. Like, I don't mind. I'm going to say what needs to be said because other people scared to say it. If I'm in a situation where I feel like, I'm attracted to this woman, maybe even mentally I'm attracted to her, emotionally, maybe physically, maybe even spiritually on some levels, right?
And she ordered the shrimp and lobster.
Yeah, and we over there at Steak 48. We at Steak 48 and all that. I done spent my 100 hours and shit.
All right, that was wrong.
So in other words, guys, other than that, you pulling out the remote. I got Netflix. What's up?
No, I'm not saying that's my intention every time I date. It's not. Like, as a matter of fact, the majority of my dates are platonic. The majority of my dates do not end in sex.
All right. What does this person say? I don't know enough on the first date. I can't read that.
To see if you are worthy of binding
Blondie.
my spirit with yours.
Well, okay. So now with that person, okay, and I get that, but my question to that person would be, what if you do get that urge that on the first date that you feel like you want to, your spirit, you want to have a deeper dive with that person, is that, do you automatically say, well, this is the first date, so no? You know what I mean? I guess that would be the question that I would have with that person, because I think what we're all saying is that as far as consenting adults, if you decide that you enjoyed yourself that much on the first date, that's what you want to do, you want to learn more, that there's nothing wrong with that. Now, Terry, I do got a question for you though. Your first response was you will wonder if that person, if you are lucky enough to get to that point on the first date, your
Right.
question would be you would feel some kind of hesitancy because your question would be, are you doing that with everybody?
Well,
can you elaborate?
So I was just talking about if you're talking about having. I thought your question was like if you were having a relationship with that person. You know what I mean?
So
like,
I
or
think,
like if you just smashing, then you just smashing. That
Terry,
you know
only
what I mean?
thing Terry got to worry about is making sure his little blue pill bottle is full. If his blue
That's
pill
all I'm
bottle's
talking
full,
about. That's all I'm talking about.
He like, let's
Yo,
go.
I'm like
Let's
with the
go.
M&Ms. Yo,
right.
As long as he got his
Yo.
blue pills, he in action. He's
yo, got them
Bobby,
M&Ms jumping. The blue M&Ms.
good.
So,
Mhm.
but with that being said, though, I think something that Terry's saying is I want to drill down on a little bit, because what he's saying is that sex on the first date does shape your perspective or your view of that person, though.
I think
That's
that's old.
insane.
I think that's old school,
yeah,
though.
you're
I think that's
judgmental.
old school. I don't think these
Yeah.
days is much
Yeah,
of a big
but-
deal
So
because that's
to
just
you,
the way
Terry,
it is.
I don't judge a
But-
person based on their sexual activity anymore.
Right,
I
right.
stopped
Yeah,
that.
you
And the
can't,
reason
'cause
why is
that's
because
old.
if people started judging me based on my sexual activity, I'd probably be ostracized and set off to this. I'd be on an island by myself.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't think we should
I'm-
judge.
I'm just glad
because
I'm not
I mean,
in that
some
life
people
no
will,
more.
and that's
So I'm-
cool, but for the
All
most
right.
part, when you add that
So
piece of judgment in there,
we
then
got to
you
get to
already
this last.
lost
We got to
that.
get to this last topic.
Now wait a minute.
Because,
Now Sandy said I'm in total control of my body and will not compromise my principles. Now what's interesting is when she say my principles. That's my question. I mean, I understand because I think what she said as far as being in total control of her body, that's what we're all saying. But when she says her principles, that seems to go on, back to the other side saying that, I'm a little hesitant about it on the first date. So, I would just wonder if people might consider it, consider it, but still, if there's still some type of hesitancy out there about that first date. It sounds like it is.
Well,
You
Sandy, she's Sandy. I want to know if Sandy, you know what? I want to know if she married or where she coming from. What place is her
Right.
is her situation coming? Because I don't know who she is.
Every situation is different, though. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. We
It's
don't
an
know what her
individual
situation is.
choice.
Right.
All right,
don't know
y'all
what
ready
her
to move
situation is.
on, though? Y'all ready to move on? Because we got
All right.
it's after 9 and we got one more topic.
So we're gonna hit this one, or we're gonna push it on to next week. What's up?
Nah, we might as well hit it.
Okay,
If you want. It's up
I'm
to
good.
y'all.
I'm good.
All right, so batting cleanup is what is making it?
That's
And
right.
how do you know when you've made it?
Okay. All right. Let me go first on that. Oh, Guy, you go first, Guy. What are your thoughts, man?
On what? On what is making it in the black community?
No, just period.
What is making it? Yeah.
All right. So that's changed for me over the years. It's changed most recently about 3.5 years ago. So early on in my life, when I was a teenager growing up, making it was just living past 18. And then it became living to see 25. So that was making it for me in those years. Y'all grew up in the same era as I did. So I'm sure not necessarily, it probably wasn't necessarily as deep, but I'm sure it hit you similarly. Like, yo, if I make it to 24, I am fucking great. So that's what making it was back then. And then the next thing was making it was financially. What kind of money do I want to make? I want to make six figures. I want to be able to buy myself a little boat. I want a nice car. I want a crib. I want to be able to take vacations. That's what making it became. And not only that, being able to take care of my family, right? That was making it. Supporting my children, getting them through college, and being able to provide for the people in my family that were closest to me, and even the people who weren't. But that was making it. So then, what became making it most recently, 3 years ago, is providing support for my community and what can I give to my community. So I think my level of making it has matured with my age, starting because initially making it was just me making it alive. Next, making it was taking care of my family. Next, making it was trying to provide for my community and leave something behind for my community and the folks who look and are like me. So I think making it to me has just been an evolution, and it may continue to evolve. But right now, making it to me is being able to put myself in a position where I can advocate for people who are not able to effectively advocate for themselves because of their social situation or their social status, and even their financial status, so their social and economic status being prohibitive to them being able to actually advocate for themselves. So that's making it to me. Now, if we're talking on a grander scale, what's making it when it comes to us and Black folks? Shit, a bag, a LV bag might be making it for somebody. A trip to Miami might be making it to somebody. Somebody buying a nice car, that's making it. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, to me, making it has always been. To me, making it has always been being able to take care of my family, right? And just like you said, Guy, when I was young, I was like, man, if I make it to 30, if I can make it to 30, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? And I thought at the time, I was like, yo, if I can get this money until I'm 30, I can retire. You know what I mean? That's foolish young buck bullshit, but that's where my head was at then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, you know, as I got older in my 30s, making it was, like you said, putting my kids through college, taking care, you know, making sure my family was straight. You know what I'm saying? And then to me now, making it is, well, if you want me to be honest, I think I've already made it. If you want me to be completely honest, I have everything that I could ever want. Like, my family is doing well. Well, the only thing that I want that I don't have is equality and my people to have their own Black nation. Other than that, you know, my thing is, making it is a mindset, right? Some young people think that you know, if they get a rap record, or if they get like you know, they get a song out, or if they, you know, get a car, get some jewelry, you know, all of that bullshit, then, you know, I think they consider that to them to have made it, right? But the thing about having that kind of stuff, and I had that stuff when I was young, right? But the thing about it is, when you get that stuff, you realize that shit ain't nothing.
Right. And you can get it over and over again. It's
you know what I mean?
Exactly, right.
You know what I'm saying? You realize, like, damn, all right, now what? You know what I'm saying? All right, I got a car. What? Now what? I still got to pay for this car. I still got to put gas in it. I still got to, you know what I mean, do maintenance on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's different, I think, perspectives of making it. You know what I mean? People see people on TV, think they made it. Those people, a lot of those people haven't made it. You know what I mean? They're just on TV.
Or what's your definition of making it is? Like, you said you made it, and what's that definition of making it, right? So you know what making it is to you.
Right, exactly. Right.
So like I said, it is subjective and not objective, right? So it's not something that we can look at from externally and say that person made it. It's all on you and what you believe is making it. And once you can reach that point where you think you made it. See, but I think what's cool is, and that's dope. What's cool is when you can intertwine the two, or I guess hybridize the idea of making it to something that making it is now something that's internal, something that you can make, but it's also something that you can continually grow and develop.
Right.
And if you can do that, and you're not stuck to this certain thing that making it is, like making it is this, if you can allow it to be fluid, if you can allow it to be malleable, something that can change and flow and ebb, then I think we got a better definition of making it. So yeah, no, you're right, you're 100%.
And Stace is back. I think he had to change a load, but he's back.
Okay, cool.
I'm back.
You had to change your load, right? You back?
You had to put some change in the dryer.
Yeah. You know, I'm just glad we were able to get this far without all the technical difficulties. But real quick, and then I'm gonna hop off. I think that making it making it is real subjective. I think it depends on the person. A guy ran down a litany of items of things that he, deemed as far as making it. And I, and I got to be honest with you. And I think it changes. I think for me, the big thing is family and community. If I can do things to help my family and the broader community, then I'm satisfied. And to me, it's not so much about a money chase. It's being able to help out and do the things that you can and do the best you can. Because I think sometimes we get caught up in thinking about a number, and no, it's doing the best. It's just doing the best you can.
Right.
Period. So as long as I'm in that position, and that's what I'm attempting to do, then I'm good. That's making it. What is yo? I can't read that.
Making it to me was being able to live without rainy days being traumatizing. Now is what I have: a relationship with God, a healthy family, and a job that I don't dread to go to every day.
Nice.
Some days, but not every day.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
My next step in making it will be retiring and sowing more into my family and community. All right.
Nice.
Cool. I think that was from Charmaine.
It was
nice, Charmaine.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Charmaine.
So yeah. So like I said, I think making it is subjective. So we beat that one too. So and it's now like 9:15. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate y'all. We appreciate the support. And anybody else got any parting words?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stace.
Yeah, real quick. This again, just real simple. Just thank everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got something from it. We hope that we made you think, and we hope that you saw yourself in one of our positions. That's real important. We try to make sure that we cover all different aspects of a subject. So and then maybe next time you'll join us. But again, like Terry said, thanks for joining in. Don't forget to catch us up on all the major platforms. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We need that. Thank you.
And anybody that's looking at our show or consuming our show that's not Black, I just want to emphasize that just because we are pro-Black and trying to further our community and heal our community, that doesn't mean that we're anti-white, anti-Hispanic, anti-anything else. We love everybody who love us.
I think that goes without saying. Go ahead, guy.
I was just going to tell everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to the community and share our thoughts with you. And if you're going out this week to bang out that sneaky link, or you're going to go ahead and do that first date deal, listen, protect yourself. And we want everybody to make it. So, yeah, let's have a great week, everybody. And we hope to see you next week and do some good.
All right. Real Brothers Live, Real Brothers for the real world. Peace. We out.
Peace.